Hello, good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. I hope you are doing well. I have decided that on Fridays I am going to try to use palettes that have been in my collection for a while. So this is my first Flashback Friday, as I'm calling it. And to get ready, I am priming my eyes with the white base from Louise, which I am absolutely loving as of late. For today, I have decided to reach back to one of my absolute favorite indie palettes I have ever owned and was so excited to buy, and that is the Club Nebula palette by Kaleidos and Angelica Nyqvist. It was one of my favorites for so long. It is still a favorite, and I am so excited to jump into this. I am going to start off by using Red Giant, which is the deeper red in the palette. And I'm going to start getting my shape by starting with my lower lash line and bringing that up so that it doesn't look funny when my eyes are open. I am mapping out the shape so that I am going to have it go probably through the outer 2/3 of my crease, just leaving that first part a little empty because I don't want that to go right through. And I am just going to pack and blend with this shader brush from Crystal Cosmetics, which I am loving. Crystal brushes. Crystal Cosmetics. I'm not 100% sure what it is, but I will link it. I absolutely love these shader brushes. They are phenomenal. And we are getting close to a shape that I am okay with. So now to try to get it to look kind of the same on the other eye. If they look related, I'm good. They don't need to look like twins, but if I can get them looking as similar as possible, that is the goal. My eyes have been quite watery since fall hit, but I've been lucky and the shadows have had no problem sticking. Next, we're going to go into Samus, which is kind of that peachy salmon color, and I'm going to use that to blend out everywhere that I put Red Giant. And just going back and forth between packing and blending. And I have to say, I can't remember exactly what year this palette came out, but I have to say it still works just as good as the day when I first got it. It is fantastic, and the longevity of this is just so good. My makeup looked just as good at the end of the day when I took it off. as when it did when I put it on at 6 a.m. to get ready for work. Just Kaleidos eyeshadows are so phenomenal, and I wish they still did stuff like this. And now getting ready for the shimmers, and I'm going to get some NYX glitter primer on my eyelids to get my lids ready for the shadows. And I really like the NYX glitter primer. I'm not a fan of spraying my shadows. I find I get a lot of fallout when I do that, but I'm probably picking up too much shadow. So it's probably user error when I try that method. And the first shimmer I'm going to take is Astro, which is that middle one. I believe it's a multi-chrome, or it's described as a multi-chrome. For me, it mainly stays a really pretty blue, and I'm not complaining about that. I love this shimmer. It's stunning. And honestly, I'm a little over the special shades. I don't need flips in every shade or multi-chromes. Like, if you can give me solid shimmers, I'm just as happy, because sometimes all I want is a red shimmer or a blue shimmer without it flipping to 5 other colors. And then for the inner part of the lid, I'm going to take Firefly, which is that top left shade, and it is a duochrome, and it is absolutely stunning. It is kind of more of a topper shade, but I had no issues with it going over just my eye base. It was fine, and I think it turned out absolutely stunning. And I love this lid combo, and I would wear this every single day. Now, taking a little bit more of the NYX glitter primer, just a tiny bit, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that in my inner corners and just a touch on that inner part of my lower lashes, because I decided I wanted to put some shimmers there as well. So just putting on a little bit with an angled brush from, I think that brush is from Blend Bunny. I did have a little bit of fallout, but that was me picking up a ton on the brush, so entirely user error. And I am going to take the shade Nebula and put that on the inner part of my lower lashes, and the shade You're My Only Hope. And I'm going to put that in my inner corner. Probably for the first, I want to say close to 6 months after I got Club Nebula, You're My Only Hope was one of the only shades I ever used for my inner corner. It was probably the shade I reached for the most, which you can't tell because there's not much of a dip in the pan, but I reached for that shade for at least 6 months for an inner corner shade. It's so beautiful. Now going into Void, which is the dark blue, I'm just going to take a little bit of that on a small fluffy brush, and I'm just going to put it on the very outer corner just to deepen that up a little bit. And I really like the way it works. It doesn't pull the look blue, it just deepens up that red and just adds some needed depth to the outer corner, I think. I used a melt liner for my waterline and this Blend Bunny blush palette that was done in collab with Ellis Atlantis. I used all 3 shades. And for highlighter, I'm going to use Rare Beauty Enlighten. And I love this highlighter. It is blinding. I barely tap in and then I will clean my brush off and just try to blend it in a little more so it's not a harsh line. And I am absolutely loving this Rare Beauty highlighter. And the finished look, and I have to say I am so pleased with how this turned out, and the Club Nebula palette still holds up. It is still 100% one of the best palettes I have ever owned, and it's just fantastic. And it was just fun to dig into it again, and I can't wait to keep digging into these older palettes in my collection to see how they hold up and if they still make me as happy as they did then. Thanks for watching.